Surround yourself with good people. Something so easy to say, and in reality, it's very, very difficult. So, I'm going to tell you a little bit about my journey over the past year or so and tell you how I've got to a point where in the past month, I've just been around such sick people, meeting new people, speaking to them on a weekly, daily basis, co-working with some, going out and working out with others, and just being fucking like riding this wave of just meeting sick people, doing cool shit, talking cool stuff, and not all being about business and work, graft, money, money, money. It's not all been like that, but at the same time, it's not all just being monging out and not doing anything. So it's been super cool, and over the past year or so, I've been in a difficult period of my life. Basically, I've been building a business. I isolated myself from all my mates, everybody that I knew. I quit my full-time job to start and build this business correctly and properly. And over the past year, all I've really done is document on socials. I've documented on this YouTube channel from the very, very first time that I fucking signed my dad's company as a proper official client of the agency, to like last week I signed 2 clients. Today I've signed 1 more client. So it goes to show, like, I've been trying to document as much as possible on socials, and with that I've attracted a lot of people in a similar space, which is great because you have conversations and you're like-minded individuals, right? You're kind of doing the same thing. You kind of know what to talk about when you meet up and have these conversations, but you don't necessarily build true meaningful connections with people that are doing the exact same thing or similar things to you, right? It comes over time, and I think that's something that I've learned massively, that not everybody has the best intentions. Not everybody is out here to, meet up for a coffee and have a quick chat, because a lot of the times people just see relationships as transactions of information, and they'll meet up and they'll try and pick your brains and, maybe answer a few of your questions and move away from that feeling like, yes, I got all this guy's systems. He told me about this that he does. I'm going to implement it. I'm going to go win, and then not talk to him ever again. Like, I've had this a few times over the past year or so where I met up with people and never ever again spoke to them. And I've jumped on calls and it was the same thing. So I think surrounding yourself with great people is one of the best things you can do, especially on a journey like myself. But at the same time, it's super, super difficult. So, as I've said, over the past month, I've just been riding a wave of just meeting loads of cool people, networking loads, not going to like networking events, but just meeting with individuals that have the same sort of interest, same mindset. The visions are aligned. I've been to a sort of workout a few times. I've been going to paddle with my housemates and my girlfriend. I've been meeting up with people that I've spoken to over the past year or so. Like, went out with Josh for a pint. I went out to co-work with a couple of people. I've been out to work out. I've chatted to loads of people on WhatsApp and stuff, and it's so sick. Like, I'm not saying this to go and brag and be like, haha, look at me, I've got loads of people around me. But it's just people that are winners, that in their own respective industries, in their own little ways, they're just striving to be better. And it's such a weird thing to try and explain, but the moment you are around somebody that's doing well, that's trying their best to succeed at whatever they're doing and pushing towards that, you feel that energy. And it's so strange to explain it to somebody, but as soon as you are around that, especially if you're of the mindset of, I can achieve anything I put my mind to, as long as I give it enough focus and as long as I don't get distracted, as long as I stay disciplined to doing what I need to do and I already know what I need to do, then you'll get to that point, right? If you're off that mindset and you're around individuals that are ahead of you on their own journeys, whether it's like looking at their revenue as an example, there's some people that I hang around with that are doing 50, 60, 80, 100k a month. Like, it's ridiculous money. And that just makes you think, honestly, on a different wavelength to everybody else. And I kind of said this in another video, but basically, I've always charged for my mentorship below $1,000. And I spoke to a friend of mine that I met up with probably like last month now, about this. And I said to him, like, I do this, the mentorship, I help people out. I've got this amount of clients. I'm doing this in terms of revenue, etc. And I'm doing some great results for clients. I've been building this by myself. I'm looking at hiring, etc., etc. And I said to him, like, on the side, I offer mentorship. And I probably shouldn't be saying this or I shouldn't be saying too much about it, because people will probably think, oh, so I'm trying to push right now, but I'm not. And he said to me, oh, so what are you charging for that? Well, I'm charging below $1,000 for 12 weeks of working with me. And he was like, what? I'm charging $3,000 a month. And that got me thinking, because I'm providing so much value to people. And the guys that are with me right now, like, they're smashing it, and it's super, super cool to see. I've just taken on another student. I'm just literally in the DMs with another one, trying to book in a call to see whether or not he's a good fit. And this isn't by any means me saying I'm a fucking guru now, come and buy my course, because I'm not like that. And if you are new around here, that's just me being a little joker. But if you know me, if you watch some of my stuff, if we've spoken, you know exactly what I'm like. And it's nothing about mentorship. It's never been about teaching others, etc. Like, although I don't feel like I've got imposter syndrome, sometimes it kind of feels that way, where people ask me to learn from me. But I know what I have is very valuable. I have so much knowledge on this sort of agency space. And yes, I've not hit numbers that some others have. But I'm on the way there, and that's what counts the most, because it's just a repeatable process. It's just understanding what to do, what not to do. Don't get distracted by shit. As an example, this video, rather than me procrastinating, it's 7:20 right now, rather than me procrastinating, scrolling TikTok or whatever I'll be doing, I decided to be semi-productive and talk into this microphone and into this camera. So yeah, back to the topic, right? He basically opened up my entire perspective of the fact that I should be charging at least double, if not triple, for the entire package that I'm offering. And by each individual that comes on board, that's exactly going to be increasing. And it has been increasing, but it started at like 600 quid for 3 months, because I didn't have the confidence in order to teach people what I sort of knew before I even put systems in place in order to teach them. So one thing is, like, I've got SOPs, systems, everything for the agency. I know bit by bit what I need to do. But to take that and teach somebody that they will be able to understand it, put it in place for their own agency without having to waste time and hours on Zoom calls trying to explain things, and just be like, look, here's a document, fill this out. Here's a video with that document for you to watch, understand. And then in the next session, we're not going to go through the entire document that's taken me an entire hour with previous students. It's actually just going to be 10 minutes of us looking over it, making sure that it actually has been completed correctly. And then we move on to the next thing, because time is of the essence. We need urgency. We need to be building shit. We need to be driving the traffic and actually generating the sales. And I think I'm getting to that point bit by bit, and it's a very slow process, because I don't take on loads of students. It's not something that I've focused on massively in order to like bring in revenue for my own business or for myself, I guess. It's just been something that I've actually enjoyed doing. So again, let's just end that topic there, because I don't think it makes sense for me to just dive into and make a whole fucking video on mentorship. But it's just about being around people that open up your perspectives of what's possible. That's all that it is. Because if I had a friend that I told that I charge $1,000 for 3 months of working with me, and they would have been like, oh my God, that's so good, mate, well done, there's no growth there. And that's what I'm trying to illustrate here through this very long-winded message. So surrounding yourself with great people is one of those things that I've kind of got to at this point, which I'm super fucking grateful for. And anyone that is watching this video, and we speak and we've spoken and we've hung around and maybe gone for a workout or a coffee or whatever it is, or we've chatted, I appreciate you, because you're just a real one and you're a grafter. So yeah, I think a message goes out to anybody that is in the current sort of stages of starting to build something, that you shouldn't rush into relationships with others, and network with others as much as you can, but also start building up your own personal brand, which is, I think, probably the key takeaway from this. Because the moment you start building your brand, the moment people actually start to watch you, to like you, to gravitate towards you, to what you do, I think it's a sick thing to do. And I don't think you should rush it. I think this is probably a message to my younger self, and I'm glad I did this, because I didn't rush into relationships. I didn't rush into any of that sort of stuff. I just stayed in my own lane. I just built my own thing. And I think that's what I'm trying to get at here, is focus on your own shit. Try and surround yourself with people that are good to you, that want the best for you. And if you haven't got those people, just continue to build, and I promise you, you'll meet them on your journey.